Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Demonosophy and Beyond. As always, Greg Bryant. Today we are going to talk about Lilith again. I've done videos on her before, or maybe one video, but as you know, I try to create multiple videos as I learn things as they go, as I get more information, and bring that to you so you have a better understanding of the topic that I am studying. And when it comes to Lilith, we didn't interact that much in the past. I evoked her when I was doing cliphotic work. One time I asked her for the company of one of her daughters, and she was gracious enough to send a succubus my way. And well, we should really talk about succubi and how they've kind of been dragged through the mud. A lot of people think that succubi and incubi are negative spirits, that if they come to you and if they have sex with you, they drain you of your vitality. And that is a yes and a no. Succubi and incubi have the choice of whether they want to hurt you or not. Also, even if you were to have sex repeatedly with a human being, you're going to feel tired and drained because it takes a lot of energy. Okay, so that doesn't make the person who is having sex with you evil or bad. It's just that you need to understand some balance. You need to have some balance. And these things, they feed off of sexual energy, and that's just what they do. So if you know the nature of the spirit, then don't interact with it, or find ways to to get it to go away. But just because, let's say, when an animal lives by its nature, its instinct and stuff like that, we don't call animals evil. And in the same way, I wouldn't say that demons are animals, but they have their own characteristics, they have their own nature, and we ourselves also live by our natures. But we don't want to be seen as evil. Another thing is that, sex is often demonized, especially when it is attributed with female energy. And you have to understand that Lilith is not evil. She has her destructive qualities, but she is also a creator goddess. And that is one of the reasons why she is so very sexual. That is an attribute of creation. And in these male dominated societies, women who are very sexually active, they're portrayed in a negative light. And we just have to be real about it. Sex is how we got here. Sex feels good, and there's nothing wrong with feeling good or, continuing the legacy of your species. So people with that mindset of, oh, she's evil, and oh, she's a whore and a prostitute, grow the fuck up. Anyway, a couple other things, the things that Lilith has told me, because I've had at-length conversations with her, they are vastly different to what a lot of people may believe. I don't care if I trigger anybody. A lot of it, sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's sad what she tells me. She has spoken on many different things because even though she is seen as the mother of demons, She's seen as Queen Succubi and stuff like that. She has a lot of information to offer. Lilith can tell you about different levels of hell. She can tell you about what goes on in the demonic community. She has her own dominion. Like, she doesn't have rule of everything. She has her power level, you know. She has demons that she can boss around if she wants to, but there are also demons that won't listen to her. What else can she do? She can protect. She can be destructive, you know. But also, when she likes you, she likes you, you know. She has an aspect of, she can show humility. And the thing about that was when she did, because previously I was dealing with her and I didn't know that it was her. And we were talking about Hecate, because Hecate is like the main goddess that I work with and stuff like that. She ended up blowing up because of the fact that she felt that, you know, she deserved more praise than Hecate or whatever. And it's just like, I'm loyal to who I work with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't disrespecting Lilith. I wouldn't do that, because I do like Lilith a lot. And so my response was just like, okay, you're angry, like, whatever. So later on, she came back to me and she was like, I'm sorry. She was like, I overreacted. And then we started to build rapport again. And, you know, once she likes you and learns to, like, loves you, like, she's cool. She's cool. But she has a couple of triggers. One, you don't want to treat her like she is a villainess, because I feel like she's tired of getting her name smeared, you know, and slandered. So that is a trigger for her. Two, I wouldn't necessarily avoid it, but talk about the Abrahamic God can also be a trigger. She has told me that the Abrahamic God raped her, took her away from her home, which she says is Babylon. And by that, I'm not sure if she means that is where her worship started or where she lived. Because when she talks about different places, she's also told me that there is a spiritual world overlapping ours. So they have continents just like us, and they have governments. So when a demon says, hey, I live in Europe, they're not talking about physical Europe. They're talking about a spiritual country, and they're talking about the vicinity on the planet so that you understand. But it's not going to be like the human Europe. She's also talked about how there are spirit communities on different planets. But I digress. The Abrahamic God, she says, is a rapist. It's very abusive. Is a liar. Like, talks about love, but doesn't return it to the people who give him love. She says that his son is an addict. And then she also says that Adam raped her as well. She says that she was the one that spoke with Eve, and it was on some kind of, I guess, trying to like empower Eve and just tell her like what's up, like this is how things are. These are, I guess, like the problems you're going to go through by being super submissive, and I guess like you're not going to be satisfied in life if you live beneath this, if you allow the males in your life to oppress you. When it comes to human beings, I asked Lilith, I said, well, do you hate human beings? She says human beings have abused demons. They'll conjure them. If you look at the old ways of conjuring demons, they use the holy names to, enslave demons. But even today, like, humans will use demons like they're genies. They won't live up to their pacts. And she says that she doesn't wish ill upon humans, but at the same time, they do make her sad and angry. And so that was interesting. In lore, they say that Lilith is dangerous to children, and I really think that that's a lie. As a mother with her own children, I think that she would be able to kind of empathize with other mothers when it comes to the death of your baby, and she would not put that pain upon another woman. So, to her nature, I wouldn't say that she is nurturing as a motherly figure, because I don't see her as a motherly figure, but she is very supportive as a lover figure. She isn't the type that's all, even though she's sexual, I wouldn't say she is affectionate. I mean, she'll say, I love you and things like that. I believe it. She'll have sex with you on the astral. But, I feel like she's a serious spirit. Maybe the fact that she doesn't, and when I say affectionate, affection from a demon is going to be different from affection from a human. She is affectionate in the sense that she is attentive. She will talk to you. She is loyal in a sense where, like, she is truthful. She's not going to hurt you if she says she's not going to hurt you. And she will desire you, if you are worth her time and attention. But she's not affectionate in the sense where she is like the cuddly type, or I don't know. It's hard to describe. But she is good as a lover, and she's that type of demon where, she can be obsessed with you, but even though she's obsessed with you, she still has her own shit to do. So she's not constantly badgering you or anything like that. People think that demons, when they get attached to you, they start haunting you and they start bothering you all the time. It's not the case. Unless you get like a low-level demon. because the higher level demons, they have stuff to do. They have their own lives. So they may come and see you, but sometimes it's not always when you want them to. It's not immediate. So I'm actually glad for that, because I have my own stuff to do. And it gives me time to kind of, I guess, miss Lilith, and then return to her and be like, hey, how's everything going? What's up on your, in your neck of the woods? Oh, another thing, like, Lilith has actually talked about the demon realm and demons, and what she says can be actually funny. She calls low-level demons bums. Says they don't want to work. They cause trouble. She has spoken on Samael, and says that she loves Samael, but things just didn't work out. She talked about Satan, and she said that Satan treated her well. She talked about Baphomet, and she said Baphomet wasn't really all that sexual all the time, but she still loves him. And another thing about Lilith is that she's not sex crave like you would expect a succubus to be. If you tell her, hey, look, I don't feel like having sex right now, she'll be like, okay. If you just want to talk to her, if you want to work magic with her, she's very good for working magic. She will tell you how to do certain things if she knows it. And I like that, where it's like, if she doesn't know something, she's just like, I don't know it. In my studies, I come upon things that will speak upon Lilith, and I ask Lilith certain things, and she will say that she doesn't know, but she'll understand the concept. For example, I saw in one of my grimoires that listed her as the queen of a certain realm. So I asked her about the realm, and she was like, I don't know. And the reason for that is that because humans have different names for different realms, but demons may have other names for the same realms, or they just look at it differently. And the way she described it is that the different realms that we see as being part of hell or wherever the spirits are, they see it as different neighborhoods, possibly a different house, maybe a different country. It isn't seen, the perspectives are different. And so, whereas most people won't name their house, if you go there, or, they're not going to know the name of this realm. Continuing on, there are certain warnings I feel that a practitioner should have. One, Lilith respects power. I feel like she will use you if you're weak. But that's the nature of nature, Just treat her with respect. Know that there are times when, with her power, just the way she is, you may become very sexually charged when in her presence. You could possibly become obsessed with her. I know, like, I may wake up in the morning after dealing with her the night before, and I may still be aroused and thinking about her. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you have to maintain your balance. What I do in order to not become imbalanced is I will cleanse myself of addictions with a spell. And once I did that, I only did it once. Then it became easy to deal with Lilith, her energies, and not becoming obsessed with her. I still love her. That's not going to go away. I still desire her. That's not going to go away. But it's not going to be in a sense where like she's just consuming all of my thoughts, all of my time, and all of my life. And a weaker person is going to let themselves be consumed. And a weaker person is going to give themselves to Lilith in a way that is detrimental. Is that Lilith's fault? No. That is the fault of someone having a weak will, dealing with a spirit that they don't understand. And, because there are so many weak people who are doing this, instead of taking responsibility for their actions and, being imbalanced, they'd rather blame Lilith and make her look like a bad person when she's not. And Lilith is somebody who, wants love. Her nature is sexual. She's just going to do, like if you offer her sex, if you offer her your love, she's going to take it. She is the epitome of womanhood, when it comes to, I feel like emotionally, and I say that in a positive manner, where it's like she wants to be loved, she enjoys companionship, and people take it the wrong way. They look at it from a point of view where I think they're looking for something negative. And the thing about that is, in magic, in life in general, if you look for the negative things, you're going to get the negative things. If you go into your magic expecting a demon to be evil or malicious, that's what you're going to get. And I've talked about that before. But the best way to do it is come from a point of neutrality. Get to know a demon. Get to know their aspects. The aspects have both a negative and a positive application. So understand that you still need to be careful with the spirits that you deal with. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily make them bad. What else? I think I've really spoken on everything that I need to speak on when it comes to Lilith. My work is ongoing with her, but very positive, very upbuilding, very supportive. We've, entered into, the spirits that you work with, they're kind of there for a lifetime, and I think that she is a very positive energy. She is a very supportive and motivating force. And I'm glad to have her in my life. Another thing. I did ask her if she and Nema were the same spirit. She says no. she says that they are very close friends and they are like sisters. So that is also something that I cleared up, but I also suspected that they were different because they act differently. With Naima, her energy is, they're both very sexual, but Naima, I feel like, is laid back, and she is the type of spirit where she will have sex with you, but she hasn't really reached out to me for a relationship. And she is the type, she'll fix your emotional problems, you know, pertaining to past relationships. Whereas Lilith is cool, but how do I say it? I would say she's more dynamic, and she is the one, she wants a relationship. So I would say that she is picky. She does, you know, she's very choosy about who she takes on as a lover, but she wants to be in a relationship, and she's open about the fact that she wants it, you know, not to the point where she's pushy, but you know, she takes charge and she goes after what she wants. Not to say that Naima doesn't do that, but Naima is just more like, she has that fuck buddy mentality, whereas Lilith is the one who wants to be the wife. That's how they come across. So our interactions have been very interesting. Lilith wants to be first. Like, if she is your only lover, she'll be cool with that. But she's also open to polyamory, in a sense that, you know, if you explain it to her and you create that boundary where it's like, okay, like, I love you, but I'm also going to love these other people, then she'll be cool with it. But I feel like she is the type of spirit that has to be, let's say if you have multiple wives, she has to be the first wife. And that's totally cool, because she is the type of spirit, she handles stuff. You know, she is that ride or die chick. Oh man. So anyway, that's all I can think about when it comes to Lilith. But, you know, it was interesting seeing her perspective about things. It's still interesting to talk and deal with her. And I hope that it can give you some insight into who she is, and maybe encourage you to, you know, check her out. She has a lot to offer in many ways, on many levels, you know. And just try to remember that succubi are good for more than just sex. And it was very interesting to see how she has, you know, an aspect of humility. It's refreshing to know, like, there are demons out there who are honest. I mean, I've never really come upon any demons that lied to me. You may have tricksters, but I haven't, fallen prey to any of them. But, to have a demon be like, I don't know about something. And it also showed me that how deeply demons can feel, have emotions. They can have triggers. They can have both positive and negative relationships with other spirits. And I feel that as human beings, we tend to forget that these energies are sentient. We stop treating them in a way where, they're more complex than we are. So if they're more complex than we are, how can we expect them not to have emotions? And I feel that human beings, they humanize spirits a lot to an extreme, and that takes away from what those spirits have to offer. But at the same time, there are a lot of similarities between spirits and humans, and we also need to remember that and treat them accordingly. We need to treat them with respect. I always go in trying to treat a spirit with respect until I feel disrespected, or I feel like they try to harm me, or somebody else who's within my circle. So that's all I have to say. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's a very beautiful day where I'm at right now. Get out in nature. Always seek out your own truth. Do your own experimentation. It's good to listen to other people's opinions to kind of get an idea of what you're getting into. But in the end, get your own perspective on things. I'm still reading books. I'm still, working and experimenting so that I can bring the knowledge to you. And I just hope things are going good for everybody. So take care.